Good day, my name is Muhuba Mampedi Mohanu. Today I will be presenting the elevation project of INI3601. I will be using a cothesis stimulation via the leathergram. There is the starting that is used to start the sequency, a latch that will be pressed to start the latching. Then we wait for the first floor button to be pressed. After it is pressed, everything will start on the latch. The motor will turn on and it will flick, and then that's when we will start to see the on delay timer. The on delay timer will then present the time at the bottom. This is when the latches are on after you've pressed them. And then there is the time delay that presents the closing, the timing of when the doors will close. After a few seconds, usually the timing is just to show you the delay of the time that is used to close the doors. So here is the visual that the person in the lift will actually be doing once it's pressing. So when you press the start, you have a start button, and you can see inside the cabin you have all the 5 floors that you can select. And then we also have the motor up, motor down. That is when the motor will be starting and then going up, and then when there is a motor starting, then it will go down. You see a light flicking there as well. And then the elevator doors will also flick when the elevator doors are open, and then it will not flick when the elevator doors are closing after the time delay has detected. And then we have our top limits and bottom limit sensors. Those are there to detect when the lift goes up and it reaches a top limit. Then the limits will detect, and then it will select the floor that you have requested. And then on the far left you have our up for bottom floor for level 1. And then when you want to go to the second floor, there is a down and a up. So that's when you can actually decide if you're going to the first floor or you're going to the third floor. Same goes to floor 3, floor 4, floor 5 is the last floor. So it can only detect the motor will only start when you're going down. It cannot be detecting going up, because you have already reached the limit of your floors. As you select the floors that you like, the lift will go up and down, and the limits will be reached. When the limits will be reached, and the sensors will detect that we've reached the floor that we are requesting, the doors will open. Once the doors open, the time delay will go on, and then the time delay will also determine the time delay also helps with the closing of the doors. So the time delay will detect to the closing of the doors, and then the doors will close as per time delay. Here is just a visual what kind of steps of what happens when you press per floor. So when you press floor 3, the doors will open, and then it will go down to go to 3, and then the top will be reached, the doors will open. When you go to floor 2, you are now going down, so the motor will go down, and then the bottom sensors will detect. When you go to floor 1, the doors will open, the doors will close, and then the motor will go down, and then the limits will be reached, and then the doors will open. Vice versa. When you go up, The doors will close, the motor will flick to show you that it's going up, but now you want to select that you want to go on number 3. So now when you're selecting the limits, the light will go off once the door light of open will switch off first before the motor starts. So now we are selecting 3. Okay, why? Then it's going up. Then when it reaches 3, the limits will be reached. You press where the limits will be reached, then the doors will open. Just like that. Now we're going to floor 5. Elevators will open. Now we're from floor 5, we want to go to floor 1. The motor will go down. And then, okay, we're going to floor 3, detecting 3, open doors will open. So we are on floor 3 now, the doors are open. So now I want to go down, the motor will go down to floor 1. There, the doors open. So every time the elevator is moving, the elevator door light will switch off. And then once if it's going up or down, the motor will flick at whatever direction it's going. So once it reaches there, the motor light will go off and the doors will open.